Almaty, Kazakhstan. In this country, you feel like you are in a different world. Soviet era buildings mixed with modern shopping malls, expensive cars, and mixed attitudes and culture. In this country, feminism does not exist. A woman is with a man simply and first and foremost by how much he can support her and take care of her. Age, looks do not come into play until you move way down the list. I suggest you come here if you can, as you are truly in a different world. These Central Asian countries, in many ways you feel like you are about 100 years in the past. I don't mean that in a derogatory way, just because of where they're geographically located, and the attitudes and the culture makes you feel like you're living in another time. You see very young women here with very attractive women with not necessarily older, but of course also older, but men that are not the best looking. You can tell that they were not chosen because of their looks. And this country benefits from oil wealth, and hence the fancy cars and the fancy shopping malls. It has its rundown areas, of course, and the Soviet era buildings are very interesting to see. Those who support, this is getting a little off tangent, but those who support Russia and what it's doing, remember these countries were under the Soviet umbrella, and that's really what kept them back. And you see the countries that were not on the Soviet umbrella, right down to the wall of Berlin, East Europe versus West Europe. They're worlds ahead in terms of their advancement, their cultural advancement, and every economic advancement and everything else. And then you see that in the East, even though it's been since 1990, 35 plus years, that the Soviet wall fell, but still the attitudes and many of the cultural damages exist, sadly. But I wanted to make this short video to make you aware that right now in 2023 there are many places you can go. The average person keeps saying Thailand, Thailand, Thailand. There are many places you can go where attitudes of women, the way they think, the way they operate, the way they respect the man is far different in the West, Western Europe, and especially in the US and England, where women now have economic opportunities, which is fine. We all have mothers, sisters, some of us have daughters, whatever. We want the woman to thrive and be economically independent and everything fine. But unfortunately, the problem starts when they confuse that economic freedom and the career and everything with the way they behave towards a man. They think and they behave just because that they have no economic dependence on a man. They let that make them believe and behave that they do not need a man in any other way at all also, which is a cardinal mistake that they are paying for by decades of loneliness, right on to death, and worse, right on to an age where a man would not want them even if they paid them. Once they get to a certain age and they gain weight and everything, well, it's a sad fact of life. No woman even wants to look at them. Just like no woman even wants to look at a man who's poor. So this is the problem. We are not against women succeeding in business. Go ahead, make $1 million a month. But don't think because you don't need a man economically that you don't need a man at all. Don't think that idiotic a woman needs a man like a fish needs a bicycle. Don't let that permeate through all the other aspects of a woman needing a man and a man needing a woman. That is idiotic. If one word could describe it, that is idiotic to say that. What, you're gonna have artificial insemination? And you think that's gonna take the place of having a man in your life? Having the experience of a companionship, a protection that a man can give you? Go ahead, believe me. I am not coming from a place of like begging and pleading with you. Oh, please, no, come with us. There are gazillion places where you can go, where there are plethora of younger, thinner, more attractive, more pleasant. That's the most important thing. More pleasant, more, accommodating women all over the world. Actually, majority of the world, thank God, is still like that. So don't think that this is a plea to women that, hey, please be nice to us. No, there is no shortage. There is no shortage of young, thin, childless, attractive women who would come to you at a snap of a finger if you can provide them with what they want, and they do not want much. I assure you, they do not want a convertible, a Lamborghini, and a $720 million home on top of a hill. But it's for you, women, to start thinking. Just because you have economic freedom, it doesn't mean that you don't need a man. We all need each other. All the best. Signing out from Almaty, Kazakhstan. Till I see you again.